that way. Tamim Adari was a person who was very soft-hearted. He was open to accepting the truth. So in the time where he explains himself and looking at the different ahadith from his own statements, I found three major reasons how he found the truth. Shows him is yesterday after Jum'ah, I had a phone call with some of the Tullab Ilm in another country, and they were telling me about different issues that they were facing, and I was answering some questions. And one of them said, we have a lot of the Sahaba that are Persian, like Salman al-Farisi and Tamim Adari. And I was like, Salman al-Farisi is Persian, but Tamim Adari is not. And this is a student of knowledge. I mean, this is somebody who studied at Islamic University. And he said, but Dari, like Dari, the language. I told him, no. Banu Dar was a qabila of Lakham, which was a qabila that was from what is today Palestine. He was from the land of Palestine. And he was shocked by it. He goes, I've always taken him to be Persian. And then it kind of put me at a strange shock, because I said, a student of knowledge who studied in Islamic University doesn't know Tamim Adari is not Persian. That means we really need to know who Tamim Adari is. So I decided late last night that I'm going to choose him as the person we're going to study today, inshallah. Tamim ibn Aus ibn Kharija Adari is from a famous qabila called Lakham. Lakham is an Arab tribe that is in what was Sham at the time. Today, what we take to be Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan, all of this area used to be called Sham. Like today when we say Sham, usually refers only to Syria. But that's not true in historic sense. The area of Quds is a very famous and blessed area, may Allah free it. And this is an area where many of the great ulama and a'imma came from, like the Maqdasis, Maqadisa. When we see Ibn Qudama al-Maqdisi, Abdul Ghani al-Maqdisi, Ziyauddin al-Maqdisi, this is from that area of Palestine. That area in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sham, were Arab, the Qaba'il, they were Arab, and they had aligned with the Roman Empire. The Arab, as we discussed on the eastern side, they had aligned with the Persian Empire. We discussed this in the last dars and the one before that. Here, because the superpowers were two at the time, the Persians and Romans. So those that were Arab, Qaba'il, closer to, like we discussed in the story of Sahib al-Rumi, closer to the Persian area, they aligned with the Persians, and they would adopt their practices and cultural aspects, and even in their Arabic language you will find a dialect that is closer to Persian. And many of the countries even till today, like Iraq and the Khalij, in these areas, they will use the word cha, bachir. Instead of saying tomorrow, they say bachir. Even though the cha is not an Arabic letter. The phonetics of the letter cha is not an Arabic language at all. But it is there in Farsi, and that influence came. And the Arab that were closer to the Roman Empire on the western side, they would then align with the Romans, and they took on the religion that was enforced by the Romans, which was Christianity. And many of their dialects, you will find things that are closer phonetically to European languages than the pure Arabic language. Tamim ibn Aus, he was Christian in the sense that this is what the Arab tribes of Lakham and Banu Ghassan and others that we can talk about, they had adopted in line with the Roman Empire. But he was somebody who was always looking for the truth. And that's a very important aspect. When somebody comes from a Christian background or a Jewish background or atheist background, it doesn't really matter. And all of us come through different backgrounds. But when you look for the truth, when you're sincere in your seeking, then Allah will open a way for you. And when Allah opens the way, there are two types of people then. Those that accept that way, they humble themselves, they accept the truth, and they follow it. And there are those who are stubborn and for whatever political or tribal or nationalistic reasons, they leave that way. Tamim Adari was a person who was very soft-hearted. He was open to accepting the truth. So in the time where he explains himself and looking at the different ahadith from his own statements, I found three major reasons how he found the truth. And that's important for us because we want to be seekers of truth. Now, most of the Sahaba, they used to be idol worshippers before Islam. The majority, because the Quraysh and the Arab, and Mecca, there was an area that was predominantly idol worshippers. A few of them were Jews before they accepted Islam. We will speak about some of them inshallah, and most of them were from Medina. And a few were fire worshippers. For example, Salman al-Farisi originally was somebody who worshipped the fire. And then of course he went through a phase of being Jewish and Christian and so on until he came to Islam. Tamim al-Dari is one of the few that was Christian before he accepted Islam. There are many others, but in comparison to the majority of the Sahaba, there are few. So he says himself that he went to a rabbi, because in the area of Sham, where he was, in that area, there were Jews and there were Christians. So he said, I went to a rabbi because I saw him dedicated to his books, and I told him I want to become Jewish. So he went and he saw them and he went to learn and accept their religion. And he said, the rabbi told me, don't accept our religion, don't become Jewish, because we are a cursed people. This is the statement of the rabbi to him. And that's why many times when you see in Judaism, there's not much preaching. Like they don't really try to convert people. Even myself, when I went to a temple to learn about the religion of Judaism, when I was very young, when I was searching myself, the first thing they told me is that you don't want to become Jewish. The same thing they told me. So he was surprised by this. So he told them why. Tamim al-Dari, he asked the rabbi why. He said, because we are a people that didn't follow our message, and the curse of Allah came upon us, and we saw the next messenger that came, yani Isa ibn Maryam, and we didn't follow him. And we know that the last messenger is coming, and we hope that he will be from our people so we can follow him. So Tamim al-Dari took a very interesting lesson. He said this person knew the truth, but due to ethnicity, they did not want the last messenger to be Arab. They said, we'll accept him if he's from our people. Now this was before Tamim al-Dari knows anything about Rasulullah Muhammad alayhi salatu. But this set an idea in his mind that there is a last messenger coming in accordance to what the rabbi found in his own text. He said, then when my people, they took the religion of Christianity, he said, I took this with them, and I went to a priest to learn about Christianity, to learn more. He said this priest was Arab from their own people, but he had accepted Christianity in accordance to what the Romans had brought to them. He said, I asked that priest, and that priest told me that what I found in my book is the truth was the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Now this is the priest telling them. He said the truth is what Ibrahim, and as we know in the Judaic tradition and the Christian tradition and the Islamic tradition, we find the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. He said the truth is what Ibrahim was upon, and he said now in this time, even though I'm following a religion, the people have changed it. Now the priest is telling him that the true message of Jesus has been changed by the priests of our time. And he says now we know there will be a last prophet. Now according to the Jewish rabbi, he was given this message. And according to this Christian priest, he was given this message that the last prophet that has been prophesied is coming, and I hope when he comes that you follow him. And that was something that imprinted in his mind.